Have you ever wondered what the big deal is about human dignity in Catholic social teaching? It sounds like a nice phrase, but what does it actually mean? And why is it so foundational to everything the Church says about society? Stick around, because today we're diving deep into this core principle, and I promise it will change the way you see the world, and maybe even the people you disagree with most. Let's start at the very beginning. The book of Genesis tells us something truly radical, that every single human being is created in the image and likeness of God. That's the bedrock. It's not something we earn through our achievements, our intelligence, our wealth, our health, or our usefulness to society. It's a gift. It's inherent. From the tiniest embryo at the moment of conception to the elderly person in their last moments of natural life, that divine spark, that imago Dei, is present. This is why the Church is so consistent in its defense of life at all stages. It's not about a set of rules. It's about recognizing the sacredness embedded in our very being. Think about it this way. A $100 bill that's been crumpled, stepped on, and torn is still worth $100. Its value isn't based on its condition. It's based on what it is. In the same way, our human dignity is never diminished by our circumstances. Whether a person is a saint or a sinner, rich or poor, healthy or sick, a citizen or a migrant, their fundamental worth remains unchanged. This is a game changer because it means our value doesn't come from the government, from public opinion, or even from ourselves. It comes directly from our Creator. This is why dignity is described as inalienable. It can't be taken away. So how does this one idea ripple out and affect everything else? Let's talk about our enemies. This is a tough one. When someone hurts us or stands for everything we oppose, our first instinct is often to dehumanize them. We call them names, we reduce them to a label, we see them as a monster. But the principle of human dignity challenges us to do the impossible, to see the image of God even in our enemy. Jesus was radical in this. He said, "Love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you." He wasn't being sentimental. He was reminding us that even the person we find most difficult to love is still a child of God, possessing an inherent dignity. This doesn't mean we have to agree with them or condone their actions. Far from it. But it means we must fight against injustice without losing our own humanity in the process. We can oppose an idea without destroying the person who holds it. We must seek justice, but always with a path open for reconciliation and redemption, because no one is beyond God's grace. Now let's apply this to another contentious issue: migration. The news is often filled with terms like illegals, aliens, or swarms, language that strips people of their individuality and humanity. Catholic social teaching invites us to see something different. When we look at a migrant or a refugee, the first thing we are called to see is not their legal status, their country of origin, or their economic impact. The first thing we are called to see is a human person, a brother or a sister, created in the image of God, who is suffering and seeking safety and a better life for their family. This perspective completely changes the conversation. It doesn't magically solve the complex political and economic issues surrounding immigration, but it gives us a starting point, the person. It compels us to ask, how can we respond to this human being with compassion and justice? It forces us to prioritize their safety and well-being, recognizing their God-given dignity above all else. Finally, let's talk about the poor. Society often measures a person's worth by their productivity or their wealth. If you're not contributing economically, you can be seen as a burden. The Church's teaching on human dignity flips this script entirely. It says that the poor have a special claim on our conscience. Why? Because their dignity is most at risk of being forgotten or trampled upon. When we look at a person experiencing homelessness, the principle of human dignity doesn't allow us to just see a social problem or a statistic. We must see a person with a name, a story, and an unassailable worth. This is the basis for what the Church calls the preferential option for the poor. It's not about romanticizing poverty. Poverty is an evil that we must fight. But it's about making a conscious choice to stand with the poor, to see the world from their perspective, and to make their needs a priority in our social and economic policies. This is because a society is judged not by how it treats its most powerful members, but by how it treats its most vulnerable. So you see, human dignity isn't just an abstract concept. It's a powerful lens that reframes everything. It challenges our political divisions, our social prejudices, and our economic assumptions. It calls us to a higher standard of love and justice. It asks us to look past the labels, the anger, and the fear, and to see the face of God in every single person we meet, from the unborn child, to the person in prison, to the migrant at the border, to the elderly person in a nursing home. And yes, even in the person who drives you absolutely crazy. Recognizing that shared dignity is the first and most important step in building a more just and compassionate world. It is the solid ground on which all other Catholic social teachings stand. Thanks so much for watching. If this gave you a new perspective, I'd love it if you'd hit the like button and subscribe for more content that dives into the heart of these big ideas. Drop a comment below and let me know how this concept of dignity challenges you personally. Until next time, take care